Your Honor, Your Honor, first of all, just look at me.
He's swagged out, Your Honor.
Welcome everybody to the first annual. What's the name of it? Welcome everyone to the first annual Same Name game, brought to you by the Rapcast. For the rules of this game, one side will be arguing for one song, and another side will be arguing for another song. The catch is, both of these songs have the same name, so they need to decide which one is the better song. Keep in mind, I'm the judge, Josh, aka J Pasty, aka PJ Martian, and I have not heard either of these songs, so I'm going solely on the merit of the argument. Our defendant number one here is Andrew, aka Buzzkill. And our defendant number
Credentials? None.
We're already getting started.
The last one, or was that
the beta test of the game? You did win. No, I think I won actually.
I don't remember actually.
Anyway, our second defendant here is Buddy Alex.
Yes, thank you. Bachelor of Arts, York University. Very, very prepared for this, and also as the inventor of this game, very proud to debut my creation.
And so our first songs will be Niagara Falls, both by The Weeknd, and Niagara Falls by Travis Scott. And here I have a Canadian toonie, America.
I will be calling. What are they called? The little fish thing? They're the loon. Yeah, I will be calling loon.
There is no loon here.
Okay,
it's just a polar bear.
Okay,
Bad start.
I'm taking
Bad start.
polar bear.
Okay, polar bear.
Tail, which is tail.
I will be
Okay.
So you're the Queen Elizabeth.
always. R.I.P.
Is the bear.
Mm.
Okay.
So Alex gets first pick. Alex? What would you like?
I'm gonna go with the hometown boy, The Weeknd.
Okay, so that means Andrew, aka Buzzkill, gets Travis Scott. And I will be out of the room while they play these songs in the intermission. So they have up until those songs end to make their arguments. And I'll be back.
Thank you, Judge. Honorable stuff.
I used to love you, girl, before the sun goes down in Niagara Falls, oh yes.
We done did so much around the law. I done seen so much I shouldn't have saw. Tatted teardrops gonna Niagara Falls.
So the rules of this game are going to be Alex here is going to make an argument. Then Andrew's going to make an argument. Then Alex is going to take a rebuttal. Then Andrew will take a rebuttal. And then I will decide the winner.
And you can vote at home too.
You can vote at home, but it's not going to matter.
We'll be
much like the real democracy.
We will be taking scorecards.
Buddy Alex's phone number is going to be at the bottom of the screen. You text
Extra
him
points.
what you think. And text some perverse photos as well, if you choose.
Wow. Please do not. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury in the podcasting space, today I am tasked with a job that is quite easy, and that is arguing that The Weeknd is superior to that of a inferior U.S. brand Travis Scott. For one, a song like Niagara Falls that commemorates one of our great landmarks should be represented by a good Canadian boy such as Abel, aka The Weeknd. But let's talk about the song itself. You know, the pitched up soul sample, it brings so much real memories of Niagara Falls that only a real Canadian would be able to bring, ladies and gentlemen. The dance beat is very happening right now. And this song exemplifies it. It got a lot of praise from around the hip-hop world, including Kanye West. He said he wants to AI these drums. The synths used almost have shades of Tyler, the Creator. And the progressive outro that borders on the trippy. But at its core, it's The Weeknd doing his synth 80s pop style with a rap twist, and it just makes me think of Great Nights in Niagara Falls. A Canadian memory that guys like Travis Scott could never.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you for your point and your argument. I appreciate it. I'm going to explain why you're wrong. So, first of all, the song isn't necessarily by Travis Scott. It actually takes place on a Metro Booming album. So let's get that straight right out of the way. It's a Travis Scott feature along with 21 Savage and the national treasure Morgan Freeman on the outro.
All Americans, by the way.
You can't beat this star power. Can we strike that from the record? Because he interrupted me, and now I'm off my game. I'd like to point out as well that there is also a Niagara Falls, America. So us Canadians can't quite claim all of it, now can we? Travis Scott, this is one of Travis Scott's best modern features. I think we can both agree that Travis Scott's feature game has been lackluster since maybe Birds in the Trap. This is one of his catchiest, smoothest, earwormiest choruses and features that he has to date. Even getting you, my co-defendant buddy Alex, to be singing along to the song while we were in our deliberation period. It's a haunting song. The production by Metro Boomin, BBL Drizzy himself, it's on point. It's varied. It's interesting. Has a lot of different moving parts to it. 21 Feature does his thing. It's a classic verse from him. Of course, he never lets up. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Now for my rebuttal. Gonna have to go a little bit more on the offensive here.
I'd like to see it.
The Travis Scott song, while I would say that it's his best feature on the album, I think it stands out because he gives a little bit more energy than most of his songs where he's kind of sounds like he's half asleep. So it stands out, but is he really going as hard as he could? I think we could demand better from Travis Scott. And Metro Boomin, while it is a solid beat of his, I think there are much more varied and complex beats on that album. And the 21 verse, a little bit phoned in. The line about Kermit the Frog is, I think, a bit clunky. While it is humorous, I don't know if you can take it that serious. And I'll also argue that Travis Scott, while the chorus is catchy, I don't know if it's fully legible. I don't know if I fully really understand what he's really talking about. And that might be my ignorance, but I'll just leave it there.
Your Honor, I just want to point out that my co-defendant here is arguing mainly about Travis Scott's previous work. It's not about the artist, it's about the song in particular. So I'd like to just stick with the songs if we can, going forward. To me, this Weeknd song, Niagara Falls, this is a tired sound from The Weeknd. We've heard it now. This is his third album doing this synth pop, retro, almost 70s type of style music. At this point, it's played out.
Biggest artist in the world, by the way. No,
okay.
Sorry.
Not anymore. Kendrick has 100 million listeners on Spotify. The song itself is... I can't say it's one note because there's a beat switch, but it's as one note as a song can be with a beat switch, I'll say. And the beat switch also is, to me, unnecessary. The song was fine enough the way it was. You didn't need to add the extra minute and a half, which to me just prolongs the song. It eats up more time. It's a long album as well, I like to point out. But let's stick with the song, like I mentioned. I also like to add that their ending is very abrupt and left a bad taste in my mouth for that aspect as well.
Okay. Solid arguments from the both of you. Very, very solid. We'll have to cut this because I got to think about this actually.
Also, the Morgan Freeman part was tacked on.
Your Honor, please. Objection.
That's
Your Honor's pencil, everyone look and laugh.
Question, do either of the songs mention Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In what way?
Travis Scott mentions it more, to be fair.
Travis Scott goes, water on the ice, Niagara Falls. The Weeknd tells a heart-wrenching story about remember those nights in Niagara Falls.
Hearsay.
He had so much more depth. I mean, Travis could have easily said some other landmark. It just doesn't mean anything, you know.
I gotta give it to Alex on this one, simply because the argument of the Canadianness of it.
Yes, I knew I would get Josh with
yeah.
that patriotism shit.
Not with just like it sound like I feel like the Weeknd's been to Niagara Falls, whereas like Travis Scott, like he probably flew over it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, solid arguments from both of you. I think that was like we started things off really, really well here. So,
I'd like to defend myself.
okay, sure.
No,
I would just like
it's
to add,
over.
I would just
It's
like
over.
to add that I believe because my mic and my voice was taken away at the end, and it was mainly Alex left to add in a little something here and there. I believe that swayed the argument unfairly, and I just want to keep that in the record for later rounds.
And
Fair.
I would like to say pish posh applesauce to that.
Oh my god, this bastard.
So for our next round, we will have Mona Lisa by Big Sean, as well as Mona Lisa by Dominic Fike, as well as Mona Lisa by Lil Wayne. And so since Alex won the coin toss originally, Andrew will be, for this round, Andrew will be picking first. So you, out of the three, Andrew, which one will you pick?
Today, I would like to pick Mona Lisa by Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Shots fired. I'm going to go ahead and pick Dominic Fike.
My own boy using against me here.
Maybe I will pick the Big Sean song just because it's a rap song.
Okay.
Does he rap on Mona Lisa a little bit?
Mona Lisa? Yeah, I think so a little bit. But not in the same sense.
No, I can't defend another one of these types of songs.
What kind of song?
I did a pop artist last time, you know.
What was with the Weeknd, right? Gonna do some hip hop shit. All right, so Alex is changing his vote to Big Sean.
I will be defending Big Sean.
Good luck.
So in conclusion, since you like rappers that's killing that pussy, I'm killing myself. Ooh, daddy, ooh, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. Ooh, daddy smile, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. She said, Mona Lisa, Lisa Mona. Got some drinks and some motherfucking reaper blood. I tell her fuck with me and you can be some.
First up is making his main argument is Andrew.
Thank you, Judge. This is not favoritism, by the way. I just want to point that out.
He's your brother.
Well, that's true.
Conflict of interest.
Get situated here. Everyone feeling good? Doing all right? All right. What can you say about a track like Mona Lisa by Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar? It is a miracle that this song exists. It is a Kendrick feature in his prime. It is Lil Wayne showing he still has it in every way. The storytelling masterclass on this song about Lil Wayne is like a pimp for these girls, and these girls are robbing the how you say clients. And Kendrick comes in and fits in perfectly with the story, and he almost takes place, or he almost like takes on the role of one of these clients getting taken advantage of in the robbing that's happening. Kendrick, there's a great moment where Kendrick's like, give me your phone. Are you texting Wayne? Give me your phone. And then it is, she's like, hold on, I'm getting a call. And it's Lollipop by Lil Wayne as a ringtone. It's classic. Endless quotables and clever punchlines from the both of them. Lil Wayne's verse for at this point in his career is extremely impressive to be showing off such things. To me, it's the best song on Carter 5 easily. The level of detail they get into this in the story is insane. Songs like this just don't really exist anymore. this level of storytelling from two huge artists, like getting a Kendrick and Lil Wayne song and it delivering in the way that it did is remarkable. The fact that we had the song that Kendrick feature on the Eminem album, what was it, Love Games or something? And it was kind of underwhelming. So the fact that we got from another legend of the game, like Lil Wayne and Kendrick, just fitting together so perfectly, and this is their first proper collaboration. It's truly a song to behold. That's all I have to say so far.
Wow. Well, what can you say about a song like Mona Lisa by Big Sean? I mean, my opponent's song came out on the Carter 5. Arguably a bit of a bloated Lil Wayne album. Came out in 2018. Some of the songs sounded kind of outdated. Contrast that to Big Sean here. He drops this song in 2011. This was the peak of that kind of party boy type music. The incorporation of EDM club beat drops with punchline raps and flashy party lifestyle. The punchlines from Big Sean, I mean, Mona Lisa, Lisa Monin, got some drinks and some motherfucking reefer blowing. I mean, that perfectly sums it up for you. Gives you a great time. Contrast that to your song, which is fun, it's clever, it's storytelling, but how often are you really going to listen to that? A tribute to threesomes. Who doesn't want to have sex with two girls?
Or two men.
True.
Sorry.
Or any combination of and that's all I have to say.
Okay.
I rest my case.
If we're talking about dated, that's the song Mona Lisa by Big Sean. I understand that, wow, for the time it works, but the time for this kind of song has passed. Whereas this song Mona Lisa by Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar will live forever, I believe. And I firmly believe that. While you say that people might not listen to this song over the Mona Lisa one, it might not be as accessible, that might be true, but the fact that you can listen to this song only once a year, but it still blows your mind, and every time you hear it, you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this exists," is truly remarkable. The Mona Lisa song by Big Sean to me is just kind of lazy. You can't compare the punchlines to me. You mentioned punchlines for the Big Sean song. I flabbergasted that you compared the two, if I'm being honest with you.
Your Honor, that's not a real word.
Okay. Almost incoherent bars, eating lobster with my shrimp hand. I'd like anyone in the audience and the jury today to tell me what that means. To me, if we're talking about he's writing down furiously. If we're talking about the piece of art, Mona Lisa, this song by Big Sean is disrespecting that art in a song about sex and threesomes. It's quite perverse, honestly, whereas in the Lil Wayne song, it is a clever nod to the woman in this scenario have to be so heartless and just so okay with it and put on a face, much like Mona Lisa put on a face in the painting. So it just has much more to do with the theme of Mona Lisa, much like maybe Niagara Falls in the previous argument. But I'm not here to talk about the past, okay? And I rest my case.
Okay, point taken. Here's a point, though, about this Lil Wayne song. You might be able to tout its lyrical passages, but does it truly have a memorable or exciting beat? I think not. I think if you were to take the instrumental, which does play a large factor in music listening, the Big Sean has a lot more bells and whistles, a lot more excitement coming from that. And while there are some memorable parts on the Lil Wayne song, some of his flows are a bit of a mouthful. It's hard to follow. It's hard to sing along. Kendrick, I love him. I love his voices, but sometimes it's a bit too weird. And Big Sean, did I mention he says the ad lib? Oh God, that was one of his better ad libs, which he doesn't do as much anymore, which is a shame. And lobster with my shrimp hand. I mean, it's self-explanatory. I think if you need to explain what that means, you're just out of touch with rap, and you might need to go back to culinary school, honestly.
Okay.
And just the energy, especially on Big Sean's second verse, I think is comparable to that of the Lil Wayne Kendrick Lamar song. Thank you very much, jury. And might I add, Josh, you are looking splendid tonight.
Man, to go back to culinary school. I can't believe it.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, guys. That was very good. I gotta give it to Andrew on this one. Alex, I really respect you fighting for your life there.
It was a hard-fought battle.
It was a very hard.
I had
battle.
Big Sean.
Yeah,
Like, that's I'm one of the biggest Big Sean haters around.
exactly. Yeah, and I respect that you put up a good fight. I respect the beat.
I do genuinely like that song, though.
Yeah, I respect the fact that you brought up the beat and stuff like that. That was a good argument to make.
You might have taken it there, honestly, with the beat, because I forgot to mention the production on mine. But
Yeah, but I got to give it to Andrew's hyping up the storytelling and the way that Kendrick sort of like plays a character in the story of it, as well as just the overall sort of, I guess, enthusiasm of it. You know, and mentioning about how Mona Lisa is more a part of the song than the other
fair.
than just one bar. You know.
I get him with that one.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Good job, guys. So for this next round, we are going to do "Lost" by Danny Brown, as well as "Lost" by Frank Ocean, as well as "Lost" by Lil Wayne, as well as "Lost" by Chance the Rapper featuring No Name. And if you can believe it, "Lost" by Corday.
No, those are lost and found. Those shouldn't count.
Oh shit! Never mind. I'm sorry.
Should just be the first four.
I let you down, David Lynch. I'm sorry.
So I get first choice.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Chance the Rapper on this one.
I'm gonna go with my boy Frankie Ocean.
My druggie, love me when I'm ugly, hug me when I'm bummy, scummy, I'm your hubby, let's get lost. Now you're lost in the heat of it all. Girl, you know you're lost.
All right, Alex. We're getting started off with you defending and making the case for "Lost" by Chance the Rapper.
Ladies, gentlemen, onlookers, fans, haters alike.
Your Honor, he's gone insane.
No, I haven't gone insane. I just freaking like Chance the Rapper quite a lot, okay? And on his famous song "Lost" off of the incredible Acid Rap, he explores many of the topics of said album, including love, youth, sexuality, and drug use. All prominent themes. Sound-wise, it incorporates a Motown sample, jazz flute, which creates the perfect backdrop for Chance to go back and forth with, at the time, upcoming rapper No Name, to give a female perspective on love versus lust and the problems of a relationship, growing up, growing through different times. And it all ends with a beautiful piano sample. And for that reason, I would say that Chance the Rapper's Lost, featuring No Name, is the superior song to Frank Ocean. I rest my case.
May I proceed, Judge?
You may.
Lost by Frank Ocean. I'll start by saying the vocals on this song by Frank are immaculate. He flows on the production so just beautifully well. It's a very summery pop production, maybe arguably his most accessible, one of his most accessible songs to wider masses, which is important for a song like this because this song explores the idea of being lost in much grander ways than just relationships and love and drugs, but in an otherworldly way of just being lost in general in many different facets. It paints a broader picture about the idea of being lost. And as someone that maybe feels lost himself in multiple different ways, I relate to this song much stronger than the Chance the Rapper song, Lost. He mentions being out in India and LA and Tokyo, and you're going to all these places and traveling with someone or by yourself and still being lost, even though you're going to said destinations. You're kind of losing yourself in those destinations. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and it just it's much broader in terms of its thematics versus the Chance the Rapper song. Thank you.
While the Frank Ocean song might be more broad, just mentioning a bunch of random locations, India, Los Angeles, Tokyo, doesn't necessarily give you the feeling that you're in those locations. But I would say that Chance the Rapper really makes you feel that being in love feels like you're losing yourself in somebody else. The musical backdrop makes you feel like you're in Chicago, growing up around Chance the Rapper in this area. So music can transport you to another place. Now, while it's very difficult to criticize Frank Ocean, I would say maybe his lyricism is a bit cliche on this track. It's a catchy and poppy hit, but not exactly the signature sound that Frank Ocean might be known for. I think maybe he was watering it down a little bit. And the vocals, obviously, he's more of a trained singer than Chance the Rapper, but it's almost too perfect. You almost lose a bit of the emotion, where with Chance, he leaves it all out there, and you know exactly what kind of guy he is. Thank you.
I'd like to just talk about the point of watering it down. What happens when you water something, Alex? It grows. And that's exactly what Frank is doing here. He was growing into himself, into his artistry, and he created what, to me, is maybe one of the best albums of all time, Blonde, soon after this, which I think we have songs like Lost to thank for something like this. Yes, it's maybe a bit more pop than some of his other stuff he's more known for, but I think this kind of song is necessary for his discography. Now, Lost by Chance the Rapper. Listen, I like Chance and all. His delivery is a tad annoying on this song. Especially the chorus is almost like he's doing baby voice. My druggie, when I'm ugly, hug me when I'm... No. I don't buy it, Chance. And I'd like to point out No Name, or as she was once known, No Name Gypsy, which is now a racial epithet or cultural epithet, if you will. So I just want to point that out, that maybe she wasn't in the... she doesn't look great in my books, is what I'll say. And her verse is a bit more...
man.
a bit... Her verse is made, I would say, if I could say, it's a fine verse, but I would say it's a bit too lyrical miracle for me, much like a lot of the music was at the time, around 2013. And while you're talking about the backdrop of the song being set in Chicago and the production and samples, I think this song relies a bit too heavily on that aspect, on the production, on the samples, on that idea, and it doesn't the lyrics and the verses and the chorus don't necessarily justify the level of production that that they're both rapping and singing on. Thank you.
This is tough one. This is a tough one because I respect both of these artists.
So it's gonna be tough for me to. But I haven't heard.
Have you actually never heard either of these songs?
No,
though?
I've never
I
have.
thought you've listened to Channel Orange.
I listened to Channel Orange like years ago. I don't remember that song.
What about acid rap?
I've never
He's
heard
never
acid rap.
been a big
Oh.
Chance guy.
Yeah, I not a fan of Chance, but I respect acid rap. You know, as like as a piece in the hip hop culture.
But you never listened to it like that.
But I
Yeah.
never listened to. I don't really listen to Chance like that.
Okay.
Oh man, this is tough. Both of y'all made some really solid points. I gotta give it to Alex.
Yes.
Because like you mentioned, like the whole the exploring different things and stuff like that, and also exploring the idea of getting lost in different senses in different ways, life.
My argument.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. That you almost won me over with that one. The one thing that won me over was like you mentioned the production style of like painting a picture and like showing you, like it makes you transport you to a certain place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what kind of won me over for that one.
The fucking we plant a thing and it grows, like that didn't go nowhere, buddy. That was tough. That was like, oh man.
I got that one.
2-1.
Next round. Wings by Earth Gang, as well as Wings by Mac Miller, as well as Wings by Vic Mensa, as well as Wings by Amine and Cardo Got Wings. I think I already know.
And
which one
Macklemore is up on the stage as well.
Macklemore. Okay, I didn't see that one on the list. Andrew, you get to pick. I think I know what you're gonna pick, but I'll give you that.
I think I know which one I'm going to pick as well, but I did argue this artist last time, even though that it's unaired. But if I pass over the opportunity to pick the artist I'm thinking of, Alex might swoop in and take the point. So just out of pure defense, I'm going to take Wings by Mac Miller.
Going on defense. Okay, that's what I was expected.
I like to do the Commensa one, baby, but I need the point, so I'm going with one I'm more confident in.
Damn, you make me argue against Mac Miller. I'm gonna choose Macklemore.
Again, Macklemore versus Mac Miller. Here we
It's
go.
a white off.
It's a what? Ding ding.
Okay,
so white off.
when should I come back?
Wanted to be that guy. I wanted to touch the rim. I wanted to be cool, and I wanted to fit in. I wanted what he had. America, it begins.
I'm pretty sure Andrew has the advantage.
Yeah,
in this
Andrew.
episode.
Andrew has first argument. So make me the case for Mac.
Mac Miller, that is, the superior Mac to Macklemore. I'm going to try not to get emotional during this. Because Mac Miller Wings is a heart-wrenching song about a man on the edge. And it's evident through the lyrics, the production, and I'm going to explain how in a moment. Production is very stripped back, but also has a bit of a strange, almost endearing quality to it in terms of some of the, during the chorus, there's some little clicks here and there. Almost sounds like a ship radio that's lost at sea trying to reach someone, which I think plays into the thematics of this song. The lyrics on here are super vulnerable, and it's impressive that he can be this open and honest in a song and still be rapping hard, and the flow still be impressive and still be a good rap song. There's no question he's still rapping on here. The chorus itself is, I don't know what to say, magical, beautiful. It's transporting, maybe. On this song, he's admitting to some of his faults. He's realizing things have to change about himself and about his life, but still coming to terms with that and trying to work his way through that, I think is very relatable, universal problem that many people have. The song overall is very, I'd say, thought-provoking, imagery-inducing. It just hits all the spots you would want for a song like this. And yes, it doesn't go hard in the club. It doesn't do all these other things that some other rap songs might do. But it's different that way. It hits you in a different way. It hits you in the soul, in the heart, than not a lot of other songs do. But this whole album by Mac Miller, Swimming, one of the better songs on it for sure, even though every song is great. Definitely a standout moment in Mac's discography.
Okay. Well, while some subtle clicks might be an impressive thing to you, I would argue that Macklemore looks much farther on a song like this. It's not just about one guy. It's about one guy, and with partner Ryan Lewis, obviously, the collaboration behind this classic album, The Heist. It's a story about materialism, about America's addiction to expensive shoes, and the propaganda that they feed us on the TV screens every day. You see, he wants to fly like the basketballers on TV, but he tells a gut-wrenching real-life story about a friend who gets killed for his shoes. And then here comes the chorus, sung by a children's choir, which I know you might not like, the heartless bastard that you are.
Your Honor, objection.
No personally
Coming from my throat.
No personally attacking.
But I would say that this song doesn't take a sleepy or understated or slow approach to the instrumental. It goes big. It swings for the fences. It's an epic instrumental and an emotional performance. He's standing on a pulpit, really, and pointing out how Nike is quite an evil company indeed. They have been considered a violator of human rights. So while I love and appreciate Mac Miller and his song Wings, I think this one had a lot more to say about society. And that's very important in today's politically charged times. Thank you very much.
I'd argue this Mac Miller song doesn't have to rely on such superficial ideas, almost cliches. It's a lot broader than that. It means a whole lot more. You say it's not just about one man. I disagree. I think it's way more universal than that. And while this song may swing for the fences, I think it overall is a swing and a miss. I understand I appreciate and I agree with a lot of the cultural and almost political sentiments of the song. I still think it can be corny though. I think it's starting off about the shoes and then all of a sudden a friend gets killed for the shoes. It was a bit abrupt. The whole "Mama, I touched the net, a bit corny in my mind. And it's also a predictable song. I guess, in fact, one of the lyrics before it even came up. And you can attest to that as a star witness. I believe this song, I appreciate Macklemore's his emotions on this song, but I think it's emotive not in the best way. It comes off almost as preachy, even if the sentiment about the song, around the song, is positive overall. I believe this song is more of a precursor, serves more of a stepping stone in his career to talk about more serious issues than Nike, like what's happening out in the Middle East currently, on some of his more recent songs. And I think thematically, while it may be strong, I feel like he is, struggling to put it all together as an idea, or grasping at straws to try to make it work. So I think it hits in some ways but misses in the other, whereas the Mac Miller song Wings hits in almost every way imaginable. And yeah, the children's chorus is whack to me. I don't like that stuff. And the extended outro is unnecessary. The extra verse doesn't need it. Far too long.
My rebuttal? Well, first of all, need I remind you that Macklemore is a Grammy-winning artist.
God.
And
You're going to make me mad.
one of the biggest artists around right now. And, maybe the political talk seemed trite at the time. But I think when you take in the context and where hip-hop was at the time, we needed a Macklemore to get us further culturally about being politically aware in our songs. And I think he was recognized for that at the time, although it was seen as very controversial. I think if we take a look back, we might miss these times. It's hard to criticize Mac Miller, obviously, because he's dead. But the song does take a while to get moving. And while I do like this album a lot, this isn't one of my favorite tracks on it. And while Macklemore casts a wide net, appealing to young and old, Mac Miller might turn off some of his fans with his crass verse where he says the F word and the rhymes fuck with fuck. Not maybe his most shining moment lyrically. And for the kids and the Christians out there in the audience, I don't think they would appreciate that. Macklemore, minivan moms need rap too. So
Okay, good.
I defend Macklemore, and I will die on this hill.
Now, this is a good argument because I was thinking the whole time that hip-hop has always been about two things. It's
White
about,
guys rapping.
It's about keeping it's about keeping it real, whether that be through your own personal feelings and your own struggles and things like that, and it's also about addressing political issues at the same time. Like two different sides of hip hop here. At the same time, I gotta give it to Andrew on this one, because the way that you just hyped up the song is like you didn't go after the song too much. You just let the song do the talking for you. You know what I mean? It's like I don't need to attack Macklemore's songwriting for until you got to your rebuttal. That is, but your main argument just relied on here's the song, here's why it's good. You didn't rely on too much on here's why the other song is bad. You know what I mean? Whereas I do respect Macklemore with his stances on and on pointing out Nike's evil doings and his storytelling that you mentioned before. I think a lot of people can sort of hear themselves in Mac Miller's song as well, especially people going through something. So I think both of these songs are speak a truth.
I was never gonna win against Mac Miller. Let's just say it.
I mean, I thought. What was the argument that I thought you'd take it with? It was. I don't remember, but there was a point where in the rebuttal where I was like, "Oh, I should have thought that you were gonna say something like that. I should have said that in my rebuttal," kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a point where you were like, I was like, "Oh shit."
You more genuinely liked the song
I think
than
that came
I
across.
liked. I kind of like the song, but it's also
I like
kind of
this.
cringe.
It's not bad. It is a bit.
The
It's a
Macklemore
bit heavy-handed, which is something I should have maybe said.
That's another thing that I wanted to mention
as well.
was, like, the fact that you mentioned that it's a bit heavy.
It relies almost too much on that, which is maybe what I should have said before. But anyway,
A little too ham-fisted.
so it's
Either
all tied
way,
up.
You won the point.
All tied up.
Tiebreaker. And we're doing See You Again.
We're doing See You Again by who's it by? Tyler, the Creator, and
featuring Kali Uchis.
featuring Kali Uchis, and we got
See You Again by Charlie Puth.
yes, Charlie
Or
Puth.
Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth.
Wiz Khalifa.
Those are the two?
Those are the two.
Wiz Khalifa versus Tyler.
Wiz Khalifa versus
and
Tyler.
Is there a
I have first pick.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough because I have vague memories of both of these songs, and both of these songs I know are very culturally significant songs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Wiz Khalifa.
Okay. Andrew, you got Tyler.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. I said I'm sick of chasing. You're the one that's always running through my daydream. I can only see your face when I close my eyes. Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever?
The tiebreaker round.
Tiebreaker round, final round. So, Alex, start us off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've talked about a lot of songs today, but this song is bigger than a song. It's a meme,
Oh God.
which means
I'm
that it will
fucked.
last
I'm fucked.
forever. It will last more than any of these quote-unquote real artists. Is these songs that represent something bigger. The song was famously used in the Fast and Furious movie, which was the last appearance of icon Paul Walker, who tragically died. And it was both a tribute to his character in the movies and the real-life man himself. And this song was inextricably tied to that cultural moment and will always be remembered as a way to commemorate, even in a joking way, any other celebrity or famous person. But putting that aside, it is also just a top-notch, high-quality pop song that incorporates Wiz Khalifa and his signature rap styles with an out-of-left-field collaboration. One with an artist who might not get as much respect in the rap world, but nonetheless very talented, Mr. Charlie Puth. His singing is excellent. He provides 2 choruses and a bridge. By the end of it, it sounds like you're almost reuniting in heaven, talking about your lost soldier, Paul Walker, and what you're going to tell him when you're at the pearly gates. It even incorporates gospel elements and a sick beat drop for excellent meme usage, as well as just hitting you in your feels. It's a good time, and as Wiz Khalifa said, how can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? One of the main lessons of the Fast and Furious franchise, which, by the way, was very successful and popular. Thank you very much.
I'm going to stick with just talking about my song for now. I'll get to yours in a moment. See You Again, Tyler, the Creator, Caliucci's. This song stands the test of time in a different way, not in a joking way or a meme way. It is more culturally significant, I believe, currently, and it's more culturally significant to hip-hop in general versus the See You Again song by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. It's one of Tyler's biggest hits. It comes at a very important time in his career. It marks an important moment in both of the careers of Tyler and Caliucci's. This is Caliucci's, one of her breakout features. Who knows how far she could have gone without this. And this was Tyler's big hit from his comeback album, Flower Boy, after the mixed-reviewed Cherry Bomb. So this was extremely important for Tyler to have a song like this get so popular, he could feel comfortable kind of getting in weirder directions again and still being confident in himself and his music. What can you say about the song? It's earwormy, the hook and chorus especially. There's instant chemistry between the two. They've worked together before and they will after as well. The production has there's so many layers and so many sections of the songs. It really goes places, which I can't necessarily say the same for See You Again by Charlie Puth and Wiz Khalifa. And instrumentally, it's daring, it's lush, it's emotive just in the production itself, I believe. And I'll leave it at that.
I would argue that Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth See You Again had a much larger cultural impact than Tyler the Creator. While this was big in our particular neck of the woods, I don't think Tyler really attained a mass appeal until later in his career. And while I think that the combo with him and Kali Uchis is very good, I would argue that earlier attempts like Find Your Wings or the song on Isolation were better collaborations. This one was a lot more, like I said, out of left field. Not as predictable. Another point that I have here is that, in my opinion, the Tyler, the Creator song is a misnomer. It shouldn't be called See You Again. It should be called Can I Get a Kiss? Because that was the more memorable part of the chorus. Now, the Charlie Puth song, on the other hand, could only be called See You Again. This might be sort of a weird point, but I think it makes more sense as the song title. And the fact that it's dedicated to a real-life person, whereas Tyler's song is a lot more about a fantasy of a person that they don't really actually date in the real world. This has more roots in reality. And the line about I give my bakery to have a piece of your pie, it gets a little convoluted and a little bit cliche, and maybe we shouldn't be mixing food and sex cliches so much. It's I think it's a little bit overdone, and I rest my case there.
Okay. So for a song like See You Again by Wiz Khalifa, Charlie Puth, I want to state first and foremost that it is a soundtrack song, which in general are pretty soulless, pretty corporate, made in a factory type of songs. And this song is really no different in my mind. It is extremely overproduced. And to me, it is, while it does work in its own way, you could have picked someone better than Wiz Khalifa to produce a message as deep as this. The weed-smoking Pittsburgh rapper, and Charlie Puth, who? I'm sorry, who? We don't talk about these artists anymore. Tyler, Creator, and Kali Uchis are going to stand the test of time more than this soundtrack song will ever. And yes, it's about one person that has passed away. It's unfortunate. Tyler's song reaches a broader audience, because if you don't care about Paul Walker or the Fast and Furious movies, you don't care about this song, you're not going to listen to it, much like I don't. And I will say, this may be hearsay, you can call me on it. I believe Paul Walker may have been a problematic person. I don't know if he's going to be up there where you're thinking he might be. Yes, it is catchy, but it's also cheesy at the same time. And I believe it is tied almost too much to that moment, to the person involved, to the movies, to everything. I'd like to say the Fast and Furious movies are also dog shit. Thank you.
Okay, I contend that last point. I think they're fun, goofy movies. But I gotta give it to you, Andrew, simply because I do that last point of like the song being too tied to one specific event, and as well as I think that Tyler had more to prove with See You Again because of his previous because of his
there
past,
were more stakes to
there's
it.
more there's higher stakes.
Don't you agree with me though that See You Again, it's more
Yeah, it's tied more to the Puth and Wiz Khalifa song in terms of just namesake. Like
the namesake.
You say See You Again.
Yeah.
You maybe think of the Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth song more, but which one are you really going to listen to?
That's a good point. Like, you both made solid points.
I will say, I did look it up. He did apparently have a relationship with a 16-year-old while he was in his 30s, Paul Walker. So I'm not making shit up. Okay. So.
I know, but that's just such an unfair thing. Like,
you had to bring up. You brought up. If you didn't bring up Paul Walker, I wouldn't have brought up the point. But I had to rebuke.
You can't posthumously cancel Paul Walker. Like, fuck off.
We're trying to posthumously cancel Michael Jackson. What's the difference? I guess Michael Jackson had a whole trial during his actual life.
he's not really.
Yeah, I don't know. But I didn't win on that argument, so it's
Anyway.
fair enough.
Yeah, the argument like was one based on the fact that Tyler had more to prove.
Wiz Khalifa's just doing shit. He was
Yeah.
just he got the bag. Good for him, but
Yeah.
If this was like a vote thing and like you had like
Yeah,
this was
that-
on TV or whatever, I think the Wiz Khalifa would get more votes because
we
just
should post
off of
on we should
popularity.
post on our at SuperFinger Inc. X account and do a little, or on our Instagram as well, do a little poll as well while we're releasing this, and just
Yeah.
have
Oh,
like, which
cool.
song would you choose, kind of thing. And
That'd
then
be cool to have like an ox battle type thing.
So anyway, thanks you for indulging us in this Rapcast
Yeah.
game.
That was
Keep it
hard
locked
fought
on
battle.
here.
You're a piece of shit. I hate you. No, it's all love in the Rapcast studios. Good fun time with the guys. It's fucking midnight.
But then after the cameras go off, things get real violent.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Go watch our podcast and listen to our podcast. This is going to be on our channels as well, podcast channels, but this will also be on our YouTube as well, so go check all that stuff out. I'm Andrew, that's Buddy Alex. Our judge today was Josh, aka J Pasty. Let us know if you like this kind of content. We'll be back at it with more games, more hip-hop news, culturally important stuff.
I'll take this stupid fucking
And we'll be joking
sweater
about it
vest
the whole
off.
time, because we're a couple fun guys. Thank you, and good night.